Welcome to Bonehead Weekly. And actually, this week I got to pick the topic.
That's a lie. It was Chad. Chad picked this
It was
topic.
Chad. It was Chad.
Every topic is chosen by Chad.
It's
Long
Chad.
live the Chad.
Chad.
Long live the Chad.
Chad is the topic generator. You just kind of put a quarter in. Actually, you've got about 3.95, and you send it off.
It's
They send you a fresh new
Schenectady. Yeah.
Schenectady. Why can't I say Schenectady?
Schenectady? You want to try it with a
Schenectady.
D sound instead of an extra
Yeah, and
K?
that is from I'm sorry, James, but will explain that's from Harlan Ellison of how do you get your ideas? Well, I send them off $4 or $5, and they send me a new, fresh batch of ideas from
A six
Schenectady.
pack, a six pack of ideas. And
Six pack of
before,
ideas from
bef
Schenectady. The next, why can I not say that?
the funny part about that, by the way, is during one of his because he did his last convention. But then he did one more. And somebody at that convention presented, and I saw a video of it online, they had custom made a six pack, because he always said it was a six pack of ideas. And they had custom made beer, a six pack of beer that was called Ideas from Schenectady. It was just a cool video to watch because his response was, "Yep, that's how I get him." Anyway, yeah,
I
yeah.
love it. It's a good one. So that's where we get our topics. So I sent out for a fresh new batch of topics. And what we got this week was this. And when we had to postpone. So we're recording a little later in the week than we usually do. And what I pitched, what was it going to be, Monday or Tuesday? When we're trying to figure out what our topic was, is I wanted to do this for a while and I always just forget because I'm just a forgetful person. Movies that we watched when we were young that we didn't care for, or maybe movies that we watched on first viewing and then now we love.
Can I throw out an example of this that I think we all agree with? And
I
if
was
I'm
going to give an
wrong,
example of it.
yo,
Yeah.
go ahead. If you've got one, go. But I mean, the one that came to my mind immediately, and it's not the one that I watched when I was young, but the first time I watched it, I was like, "That's okay." And I went back to it so many times, I'm like, "How did I not realize the brilliance of this?" It's the Big Lebowski.
Yeah, that's the number one. That's for me too. I don't know the first time I watched The Big Lebowski that I quite understood it. And then the second time, does yours thing says let them eat Stromboli? Why Stromboli, Chad?
Why not Stromboli? Why are you anti
Exactly, Joe.
Stromboli?
What's wrong with Stromboli?
Maybe that's what they
It's a
want.
fucking
Maybe
peasant dish. I don't know. That's just because it
that
looks
needs
like
Well,
to.
their
this is
head.
and
Can
this
we
is
do? Can we do an episode before we go on? Joe, would you just name your top five peasant dishes? I want to know. I want to write these down.
Yeah, Stromboli's number one with a bullet.
Okay.
What's the difference
Okay.
between a hoagie and a Stromboli? What
a
exactly is
Stromboli.
a Stromboli?
About 35 cents.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a calzone.
So what's the
Well, why
difference
don't
between
they
a
just call it a
calzone and a
calzone?
Stromboli?
What do
Here,
they call it in France?
hold on. I am
We
getting
call it Lay Stromboli.
Oh,
a rolled up sandwich with a variety of fillings or a volcanic. Oh, sorry, never mind. That's the
You're
food
looking at
version
porn again.
is an Italian American dish that is made up of from pizza or bread dough filled with cheese and meats or veggies and baked with until golden. The volcanic island has. Why do I keep? It keeps mixing in the volcanic island of Stromboli.
by the way, I want to. You bring up an interesting.
But
This is a
that
true
sounds like
story.
a that sounds like one of them Pizza Hut Pazuzus. Or is
Uh,
Pazuzu the devil from The Exorcist?
yes, you're thinking about The Exorcist. Though he was filled with pepperoni. Very few people know that.
Mm,
Anyway, um,
Pazuzu,
this
you
reminds
said.
me of a story. There used to be one of my favorite places when I was in undergrad. It's gone now, but was Slice of Chicago, who made Chicago style pizza. But they had really
Yes.
great calzones, and they were like, we can put any meat in them, except Italian sausage. And I called once, and I'm like, can I get one? But can I get with Italian sausage? Well, that's not a calzone anymore. And they said that's the stromboli if you get it with sausage. And I'm like, wait, so the only thing that stops a calzone from being a stromboli is a stromboli has to have Italian sausage. And according to the very angry gentleman who worked at Slice of Chicago, that was the difference. And so what you're telling me, Chad, is that man was wrong.
That man
And
is
even
wrong because here's the only differences between the two. Calzone is folded and usually made with ricotta cheese.
Yeah.
Stromboli is rolled and made with mozzarella. That's
oh,
the
well,
only
so
difference.
technically the calzone I got was still made with mozzarella, so it would have been a stromboli. So they were
If it's
just
folded,
lying.
if it's folded, still a calzone. Has to be rolled.
Let's talk about why Slice of Chicago is no longer still with us in Lexington. Because it wasn't bad.
No, it's good. I don't know what I have in my mind. What I'd like to envision for them, if I'm on their side, and I try to
Yeah.
be on people's side, is that they retired ludicrously wealthy on all the money that I gave them during my undergrad because I'm fat,
Well, I
and
tell you, if we're
they
looking for,
they
and
they
they,
they they're in a happy place now. Was drinking, to quote Warren Zevon and Mr. Bad Example, drinking Foster's in the shade. They're just
mm,
having a good time.
so yeah, if we need a sponsor, I'd like to, south of Wrigley, I will still keep eating your delicious sandwiches. Speaking of Chicago
I've
places,
never been.
it's
Neither have I.
awesome. You guys should
No, let
go.
me well let me tell you a story about so they had a special and
Because this is the topic.
I wanted to say it was like a pickle dog. Like
Yeah.
it was their weekly special or something. But on their website or on the Facebook thing that they did for it, because that pops up on my feed because once again I'm fat. Um if you're watching this
Mm,
on video, take my word for it. I'm a large gentleman.
you
I'm
can
not a
only see your
gentleman.
head. Of course, it's
Anyway, but they used an AI generated image, and it was the worst AI generated image to make that sandwich look appetizing. And they even had on it, this is AI generated. But I was like, but why don't you look at that and say, you know what, let's regenerate that. Let's click refresh on that and see if we get a better one. Because it looked terrible. Like the hot dog in it looked gray. And I was like, you're not selling me on this concept. I mean, I showed it to 5 people that I knew, and it was like, I mean, I'd try it if somebody gave me one, but that's my only real exposure with them because I've always said I need to go and try it, but I keep eating other places because they're closer and I'm fat and lazy.
it's good. So now that they're not sponsoring us, this is what we're talking about, right? We didn't get it, and now we get it. So who would like to go first?
I'll go first. Why
Chad.
not?
Yes, Chad.
And I think this just goes, honestly, this one has some deep-seated issues with me about me and my father having all different kinds of taste. And when the only movies he ever watched were westerns. It's the only ones. And I could never get into them.
Man,
And
we're gonna touch on some same ground, Chad. I have
yeah,
a feeling.
yeah,
Well,
I
we're
just
of a certain age. That's what our dads watch. My dad
yeah.
said he still sits around and watch
Well,
Gunsmoke.
he loved westerns, but his favorite movie was Green Berets, which still to this day
Oh
is like,
my God.
uh,
You know who loves that movie? I'm being sarcastic right now. There was a veteran, I won't name his actual name, but he was the faculty for the Global Village.
yeah.
When I was over at the Global Village at the University of Kentucky as the residence hall director for the Living Learning Community component, and he taught the course that was connected the 3 credit hour 4 credit graded course that counted toward the liberal arts requirements for global studies or whatever. And he was a Vietnam vet that took students abroad every year, but he did this class obviously not abroad. And I his deal was he would come in and watch documentaries and movies, and we did it for programs. At one time, Chad, one time I made the mistake of saying, yeah, my dad's a big John Wayne fan. I've seen the Green Berets 1,000 times. And that man, justifiably, and I learned so much from him,
Yeah, it's a piece of shit
went
movie.
off about how that was pure jingoistic America, and he actually felt sorry for George Takei for being in it. And
Yeah.
it was an hour long lesson, and I'm not being mean. I enjoyed it because it was fascinating to hear him point out all the scenes where it's like because it's John Wayne making a pro World War II movie about Vietnam.
Yeah, it was him being pro-war. That's the only reason that movie was made, and it was propaganda at its purest form. But that was my dad's favorite movie. But what I couldn't get into was the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Near, near, near.
I thought it was slow. I couldn't get into it. I didn't understand the plot when I was younger. I didn't really appreciate the good, the bad, and the ugly till I was in my 20s. When I finally said, you know what? I need to go back and watch it. And I really, really enjoyed it. So, yeah, when I was a kid, I was like, whenever I heard that song, I was like, oh, this movie sucks.
The thing is it's is hard as a child probably to get it. It's 3 hours long.
Mhm.
There's not a ton. That's
There's
a
not a
that,
lot going on.
there's not a lot going on. It's not plot heavy. That's one of the most this is going to sound stupid, but I've heard other directors. That is one of the most directed movies of all time.
Hmm.
You all know what that means, right? I mean,
Yes.
that's Sergio Leone's film. That is like just everything in it.
Yeah.
But I get why that's inaccessible to someone who's really young.
Yeah. My dad would watch it on occasions when it was on TV, for free, because that's all we had was the three television stations. But yeah, I would walk out of the room and go play with my toys or do something outside because I was like, I'm not watching this. And it was like that for most of the westerns on that came on television with him because I'm just like, I just can't get into this. So yeah, that was my first pick. Right when Joe said gave us this topic, I said, oh, that's my first
No, no,
pick.
Schenectady. Schenectady? I said it right the
Schenectady,
Schenectady.
second time.
Schenectady.
Schenectady, which is Chad's house, because Chad gave us this topic. I don't know why I even bothered telling a lie. James is
Yeah,
right.
it all comes from Chad. All for the glory of Chad.
All for the glory of Chad.
Who's next?
Long live the atom bomb of Chad. Oh, is it my turn or James?
Joe, you want to go? Yeah, you go. I'll go
E.T.
last.
I've
I
talked
don't
about
go
this one
last.
before, but
Yeah.
E.T. is one of the biggest ones and I should have, because every child except for Chad Jennings in America loved E.T.
Still don't.
And when I didn't care for it, I never thought the movie was terrible. I never thought the movie was terrible, but I never quite connected to it. At some time in my 30s, rewatched that piece of shit, and God bless America, here come the tears. I don't know what it is, but it worked. And then it works for my kid too. And I don't understand why, as a child, when it should have worked, it didn't. And then as a 30-year-old man, it worked perfectly, but it did. And every criticism you can throw at it is all probably accurate, but it's just, I don't know. It's a heartwarming film. It is. And I he got into it for a while and kept watching it, and I just didn't get bored of it. I enjoyed it. I love that movie. I don't think it's Spielberg's best film. I know it's the one that he showed his kids first. Out of all of his movies, that's the one he showed his kids first, and that makes sense to me. And I know that's one of the ones he's the most proud of, he said in a couple of interviews, or one of the films he's proud of. But he made better movies.
Yeah, 1941.
That's not one of them, but he made better movies. That's another one I hoped I could get back into that I tried rewatching a
It's
while back.
impossible.
There's so many good scenes.
There is, but it doesn't tell a story. It's just a
Well, it's not.
good.
It's just a mad, mad, mad world without all the charm of a mad, 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 mad world, right? Yeah. So
Yep.
E.T. is another one of the bigger ones. James.
I'm going to go with the Western because it again, and much like Chad said, um, it was one my dad loved, and it when I was young, and I mean really young, probably 6, 7 years old. I don't know if it didn't hit public domain. I don't know if the local Fox affiliate had a deal on it, but it seemed like every other weekend they were showing this as their evening or afternoon movie. I never like it was like Chad said, my dad could watch it every weekend.
Because we
And
also, sorry, James, I mean, we got to also realize that the Westerns, for kids that were our parents' age,
I couldn't
it
say
was essentially,
Schenectady. Well, why did he say Westerns?
but you know why, Joe? Because he's from Western Connecticut.
but no,
And I
it
still
was
screwed up Schenectady.
Westerns
Damn
for,
it.
Westerns for our
Don't you have
parents.
a degree in broadcasting or
I
some sort of
do.
communicate?
I
Okay.
do Schenectady. I'm not trying to cut Chad off. I just,
No,
yes,
it was
Chad.
just Western for our parents. That was their science fiction.
Absolutely. It's a generational thing, and we missed it by a minute.
Yeah, yeah. It was just that was their escape from their lives. They want to go back to the old west where outlaws roamed and there was adventures everywhere you could see.
And truthfully, there's a ton more westerns than there ever be science fiction films.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how time progresses.
I'm may well, I mean, I could make an argument that,
Hold on, hold on.
that
Can I?
there's not a ton of movies.
Well, the
What?
caveat is how many good ones will be made.
Well, there's not a ton of good science fiction films either.
No,
But
no.
westerns
I
up
love
until a
science fiction,
point,
but
up until the early 70s, I mean, it was that's that's probably the biggest genre in Hollywood for 40 years,
Yeah.
yeah.
right? And
Sorry,
if we're not,
Jamie.
and you got to include television and just
Oh yeah,
serials.
yeah. No, yeah, yeah. No, I was gonna say if you do tell, and you had stars. I
Yeah.
mean, your star like Tom Mix. My father could do a 5 minute rant about Tom Mix, and he wasn't a Tom Mix fan. But you
And you
had Roy
talk about
Rogers.
Tom Mix with the kids today, and
Yeah,
they
honestly,
don't
stop
know.
16-year-old and
Dan,
ask him about Tom Mix.
I tell you, look
But
at you like you're.
all of these. So I say all that to say, yeah, y'all are absolutely right. It's fair. Everything you said is fair. And there's one that my dad loved and watched over and over. And matter of fact, I've talked about before on the show. He loved the sequel. I think almost more than he did the original. And the original's been remade, but watching it now, realizing the humor and the stupidity and the fun of it, while it's also really you could remake this set at modern day and cast Bob Odenkirk, and it would still work as an action movie. But it has so many great lines in it, including early on in the film. There's this great exchange where he's in a courtroom having to give a testimony, and the judge says, "I believe you testified that you backed away from Old Man Wharton." "Yes, sir." "Which direction were you going?" "Backward. I always go backward when I'm backing away." It's just a great like what did you expect the answer to be there? But it also has a line that very closely got repeated in the remake, and this is going to give the movie away. "What's your intention? Do you think 1 on 4 is a dog fall? I mean to kill you in 1 minute, Ned, or see you hanged in Fort Smith at Judge Parker's convenient. Which will it be?" I call that bold talk for a one-eyed fat man.
Yeah.
Bill your hand, you son of a bitch.
Yep.
True Grit was not a movie I appreciated when I was a kid. Watching it now, partially because I see why my father liked it. This silly lines where he's mocking the justice system, where he's mocking the courts, where he's mocking the judge, they work a little bit better now on me. They do work better, and it is not the best Western ever made.
No,
It
but
is,
the dialogue from the original book is fantastic.
yeah, and it just works well. And matter of fact, Kim Darby as Maddie Ross works well in it, as this kid that has no idea really what to do, but wants justice, wants what she thinks will be justice. Um, and so yeah, I just and I do enjoy the remake, which is much different in many ways. The original John Wayne version very much makes him almost super heroic, and the other movie does a much better job of having him somewhat grounded in
And
reality.
So
they changed the dialogue for John Wayne too
Oh yeah, yeah,
from the
yeah,
book. So
because
everybody else is speaking that I can't remember the guy that wrote the book.
yeah. It was written by, I should know this off the top of my head. I am ashamed, but it was written by, was it Charles Portis?
I can't remember. Barry oh my gosh, the actor, his character actor is in the
Yes, yeah,
remake. He
Charles
called it
Portis. Yeah,
Shakespeare Western. I don't know, there's a name for it.
yep. Wrote the novel with Charles Portis.
yeah, so it's kind of funny you both picked two movies as your first picks that I didn't like when I was younger, and I still don't like because I do not care for we.
Well, that's because
This
you
is
hate
well known.
Glenn
If you're
Campbell.
if you
Your
this is
hatred of Glenn Campbell just because he didn't sing Rhinestone Cowboy on every performance
Stone
no, I
Cow.
like that. I
is
liked when he went heavy metal.
You're not. That's not Glenn Campbell, is it?
That was Glenn Campbell, wasn't it?
Well, no, I thought that was the.
I was trying to figure out if you were somehow making an Alzheimer's joke. I
I'm
wasn't. I'm not kidding.
I am going to have to
Like,
Google that when he came out in the
No, it's the
leather
other one
studs.
guy. What's his name?
I thought it was
He
Glenn
was a
Campbell.
pop singer in the 50s. Because there's a I Love Lucy joke. Glenn, oh shit. Damn it. But dead air, dead air, dead air. All
Anyway,
right.
I just did not care for it. I really love the Coen Brothers version. I really do. But like I said, I could do 30 minutes of why I hate John Wayne. So,
No, and it's a problem. I agree. There is problems with. You can point to John Wayne. Here's the reason True Grit I also appreciate more now that I'm older. Watching it is, man, that's a who's who of Western.
no, that wasn't
Strother
Glenn Campbell.
Martin,
Yeah.
Strother Martin, Dennis Hopper, Robert Duvall, just tons of people that were in. There's other people I could name. John Fielder's in it. John Fielder, you'll remember, is the voice of Piglet, Chad. Uh, he is. Look him up. He also is the
Touch
voice of
me.
Jack the Ripper on an episode of Star Trek that I love that nobody ever talks about. Because it's just funny to hear him being Jack the Ripper because his voice of Piglet isn't too far from his actual voice.
It was Pat
Anyway,
Boone.
Pat
Pat
Boone.
Boone.
There you go.
Yes,
Who's
Pat
Pat
Boone.
Boone? There's a I Love Lucy joke because they're talking about the kids and what they listen to this day, and it's just it's stuck in my head for 40 years. Like, who is this Pat Boone?
But yeah,
Riotous
no.
in
So
55.
yeah, so no, and I agree. You're right, Chad. The Coen Brothers version is a better overall movie. I
Yeah.
can now watch the John Wayne version, and I agree. John Wayne is a problematic figure in several different ways. You could
Oh
even go
man.
into his treatment of indigenous American actors, and it's
Yeah.
terrible. Um,
Or I just real quick, a lot of people don't know this. Everybody gives Will Smith shit for getting up and smacking Chris Rock, which by the way was a bullshit thing. He should have never done it. I lost a lot of respect for him, but he got so much shit for that. But you know who didn't get shit for that? John Wayne. When Marlon Brando sent the Native American to do the speech, they literally had to get a bunch of people to hold him back because he was going to go slap her.
yeah, which, by the way, if you look at that history, and that's what I was alluding to, because that's one of his more public demonstrations. But actually, go back and look at what Clint Eastwood said too. Clint Eastwood doesn't come out of that in great shape either.
Oh no, yeah, Clint Eastwood's kind of dirty too.
he
So yeah,
he ran his mouth about how he, and I was like, dude, in all fairness, like Marlon Brando's not a perfect figure either, but he
right. Oh
was
no,
right
Well, the
about that.
lady also was an actual Native American. Y'all know this, right? Like she was full of shit. Like none of that's true.
no, I didn't know that.
Google it.
No, no, I don't. And yeah.
She
So,
she basically
um,
bullshitted Marlon Brando. There's it,
which
I've
is
got a whole
sad.
counter argument about how just the whole thing is
Well, and
anyway.
that's sad. But in all fairness,
There's no counter
Marlon
argument here, but
Brando's
No,
what
no,
John
I'm
Wayne
not
tried.
defending him. I'm just talking. I've just is anyway. Keep going. That's a different show
um,
for a different topic.
no, but Marlon Brando's overall point though was right about the way they were treating a lot of indigenous American actors.
Yeah,
So Marlon Brando is the one that comes out best in that story. I agree. If Maria Louise Cruz, who was better known as Sacheen Littlefeather, was full of BS, that's terrible.
I that's what
Um,
I have read. Double check me.
no, it's so real quick, just since you brought it up, the Littlefeather has said her father was of Apache and Yaqui, if I mispronounced that, I apologize, ancestry, and her mother was of European descent. Shortly after her death, Navajo writer and activist Jacqueline Keeler interviewed Littlefeather's two sisters who said their family is not Native American. So you are
Yeah,
correct.
I
It
didn't
did
think any
not
of it
come
was
out
true. So
until after her death.
it's funny. It's an award show about defining what the best art is, which is an impossibility to do anyway. And then we all get upset when bullshit artists get bullshitted by another bullshit artist. It's very meta to me. It's funny that you brought it up. I was thinking about this 2 weeks ago, and I was listening to an interview where I found out. And I was like, "Oh, this is fascinating."
By the way, though, that real quick, I just want to fill in the context. Clint Eastwood, uh, several people made remarks after the incident during the ceremony. Raquel Welch said, "I hope this next winner doesn't have a cause, just because they didn't like the being used for protest." Clint Eastwood was presenting the Best Picture award and said, "I don't know if I should present this award on behalf of all the cowboys shot in all of John Ford's westerns." Making fun of again using it as a cause. And Michael Caine actually directly criticized Brando, saying if he didn't want to show up, he shouldn't have made that poor little Indian girl take the booze for his stance, which actually is probably a decent critique in its own right. But anyway,
Yes, there's a whole other, yeah.
so but yeah, anyway, I say all that to say, yeah, you're absolutely right, Chad. John Wayne gets this image as the American cow. Him and Clint Eastwood probably are the definitions. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
if you go back and remember fondly, for those of us of a certain age, the MGM Great Movie Ride, rest in peace. Right, the Western scene. What two characters did it feature?
Well, it's because they are.
Yeah, well, and I was about to say that who else could you do? I mean, if that
They
movie,
are.
if that ride would have been made in the 1960s, would it have been I'm blanking on the name of the
It's
actor that
from the
played the hop.
70s on, it still would have been those two.
Well, I know,
And
but I mean, but if it was the 60s, you think what? The actor that played Hopalong Cassidy and Roy Rogers
it might
may
have
have
been,
been?
you could have maybe, but it probably culturally wasn't as significant by that time. I mean, you may have,
By the
and
way,
we're getting off topic.
even though they are considered, it really wasn't Wayne or Eastwood that was the premier old West person. It was Jack Elam. God rest his soul.
Who was an accountant?
Mm.
Jack Elam and Strother Martin. That's all you need for a Western.
Who was an accountant? Yeah, it's funny.
Mm. You ready to
All
go
right.
on to my second
Yeah,
round?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Second
Sorry, I mean,
round two. Sorry, James. I didn't mean to.
no, you were absolutely
Derail.
right, and your point actually led to a somewhat interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe not to the audience, but I'm here to entertain myself.
I'm wondering if this one's going to shock either one of you because when I saw this when I was younger, so I was always big into science fiction, thrillers, not necessarily horror like really, but I like scary movies. I wanted to see this movie. So I saw it and I was like, what is this piece of shit? Why is this movie so hyped up? And that movie was the 1978 Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
I'm not shocked. It's that's another one that's hard to digest when you're young.
It is slow,
Yeah,
very slow.
because the original Don Siegel film's not really slow. It
No.
moves fairly quick. It's a shorter movie.
Hmm.
I think the black and white version with Kevin McCarthy and directed by Don Siegel is much easier to understand, take in, digest as a child
Yeah,
or a young person.
which I could go on the whole thing about wasted years of my childhood where I couldn't watch black and white movies. So stupid. Um, but yeah, I when I saw Invasion of the Body Snatchers, I was like, I just don't care for this. It's slow, nothing's happening. I never made it to the end. That's how little I cared about Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And I refused to watch it for years until later on I watched it and I'm like, oh my God, this movie's phenomenal. It really is. And then that when I finally made it to the ending, it blew me away. Even though I kind of saw it coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
it's not,
good.
yeah, it's pretty obvious what's going to happen there. But yeah, I mean, even when the aliens take over the people, they did a really amazing job. Like everything about Invasion of the Body Snatchers is really great, but I would refuse to watch it as a kid.
Yeah, I think it's
So,
directed by Philip Kaufman, right?
yep.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I haven't watched it in a long time. But I mean, Donald Sutherland's so damn good in that. Everybody's really good in that. Spock's good in that. What's his name again? William Shatner?
Yeah, Leonard Nimoy, but no, you're close. Hold on, no, Walter Koenig.
Walter Koenig's in that. He was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, even Jeff Goldblum. I mean, that was like one of my first introductions to Jeff Goldblum. And yeah, I was surprised I didn't care for it. But yeah, oddly enough, my first three introductions to Jeff Goldblum, this, Transylvania 65000, and Earth Girls Are Easy.
Yeah.
And
What?
it was Earth Girls Are Easy that were made me a Jeff Goldblum fan.
Why that nobody talks about Transylvania 65000?
I don't know. It's a forgotten piece of art in my opinion. I love
It's
that movie.
it's such a weird, quirky movie, but it
It
does
really
have
is.
heart to it.
I'd have
But
to
nobody
watch it
talks about
again,
it.
gentlemen.
No, you won't like it. You don't like
You won't
anything,
like
so
it.
don't
You
watch
don't
it.
like it.
I love things.
You don't. You'll get
I
on.
do.
You'll get on Scarefest and talk about how the third act falls apart, and what you don't realize is the first act didn't set up a third act.
Man, there was
But
nothing there.
you just watched the movie. Just
I
by
have.
the
Is that
ticket,
Ed
you're on.
Begley with him in that?
Yes.
Yes.
It's like Haunted Honeymoon.
I had a hard time with Haunted Honeymoon.
I
as a
know you
kid.
did. but I love it. Still
I
do.
haven't seen it in a long time. I don't know. I'm sure I probably wouldn't enjoy that one either. Okay.
I said Joe doesn't like most things. This is
I
something
do.
we've
I
accepted.
do. Actually, of all the three of us, Chad hates the most, but let's not get into that.
You out of your
I
fucking
hang out with
mind
the
when it comes to movies.
Really, really hates American culture.
I really
That's not
appreciate the
why.
fact that you
I
all
won't
pretty
argue with you on
much
that one. What,
I
Huh?
pretty
Joe?
much
James?
I pretty much hang out with the haters club with you all.
I'm
What it's
not hate.
like.
I'm going to bring one up that
Hate, 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 hate.
I'm
Oh, I'm
going to
sorry.
do a horror film actually that I
Oh my
did.
God. I want everybody to go back and start a drinking game with this and talk about how many times Joe Lewis goes, I don't care for that movie. Oh, there's nothing good that ever came out. You sound like an old curmudgeon.
I just
Really,
was
actually, I
thinking of
said I
all
hang
the
out with the
times of
haters.
like Chad going, I don't get it.
I'm sorry. I
I
said the
don't know. It didn't
haters
work for me.
club. I meant to say I hang out with Statler and Waldorf. Leave the
No, well,
company
neither
to the
one of us are
bears.
that charming
Yeah, and I
No,
don't
you're
have the
right.
hair.
or the quick wit.
Oh
Oh,
man.
oh.
Yeah, or
And
our puns aren't even that good.
I can't even walk around in a suit. Who does that nowadays?
I could walk around in a suit, but I don't
No,
want to.
don't want a tie on. I hate ties.
I don't mind a tie. All right. Mine is a horror film too that I did not understand as a kid. And sometime right around college, I rewatched it. And I thought, well, this is just genius. Why did I not know this was genius? What is wrong with me? And there's been many times we've talked about the late great Cannon Films that only made three really good movies. It's Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2.
Wait, I thought you've always loved that.
I
Did you
did
hate
when
it?
I watched it as a kid, I didn't understand it, didn't get it, thought it was stupid. And
Huh.
it wasn't till I was in actually, and hold on here,
And I
let me
mean, I
quote
get
Chad
that.
Jennings, community college. When I was in community college, I got introduced, and somebody would, this guy named Merrick Conley, and he would go around doing these lines from Chop Top. And I went back and rewatched it, and then I had a film class that actually had it in there too. There was another movie that I appreciated that I found out back in that film class, and I rewatched it. And don't get me wrong, I don't know that it's as good as some people say it is,
Yeah,
but
it's fun.
it's funny, and it has a couple, there's one great jump scare when Leatherface comes out of the radio station when he just turns on the light, and it works.
Mhm.
And it is dark in places.
Yeah.
By the way, did anybody? I don't know if anybody follows Bill Mosley on social media, but
I have
somebody
a story
posted.
about being behind, yeah, but keep going.
Well, somebody posted. Apropos of the movie you're talking about, somebody posted going, and actually that they just posted best jump scare, and it's just a picture, like a stage photo of
It's
him in his
good.
makeup, of him in the chop top makeup, and Bill Mosley saw it and commented beneath it, going, "Here's a secret: I still have the jacket."
That's so cool.
And I was like, now I want him to show up to Scarefest in that jacket.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have that feeling that Joe did because here's the thing, I didn't watch it when I was younger. I didn't see it till I was in high school, and by that point I was full blown. I was damaged, and I love that movie.
I don't actually remember the first time I watched it, but I know I didn't care for it. And then it's kind of like The Big Lebowski on the second time later. It's like, well, this is funny as hell. And now I appreciate it even more because it must have taken the biggest balls of steel to say, well, I actually thought the first movie I made was kind of a comedy, and everybody kind of called it a horror film. And I kind of want to make it even more of a dark comedy. I'm going to get the guy who's an award-winning writer, L.M. Kit Carson, who wrote a movie called Breathless, and was nominated for an Academy Award. I want to get that guy to write Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I'm going to find somebody else to produce it. What, they want too much money and can't? All right, well, I'll just go ahead and direct it. And this is what we made. It is a dark comedy, but it is still a horror film. And some of the special effects in that movie, the Tom Savini makeup
Still hold up.
effects, they look pretty damn good.
Hmm.
Still, I watched that opening scene on that bridge. Now, don't get me wrong. The fact that that scene takes 10 minutes and that bridge is from here to just down the road makes no sense. Don't think about that too much. But it looks pretty good. The movie is so flat, and then when it goes underground, it opens up, right? It's the opposite of what it should be. Like the mat, it's just flat. The way it's shot's flat, and then it opens up. It's a very interesting artistic film. I don't know. It may very well be if I looked at Toby Hooper's films because they didn't get much better after that. That may very well be his last good film. But I think it's that. What have I said before? The most people say it's that 52 pickup, and what is the other? I can never remember the third one.
Superman
That,
4.
Cannon only made three good movies. But I will say, keeping on the horror theme, because there's a ton of westerns I have too, because I fall in the same. But although I think I liked westerns a little bit more than these gentlemen did,
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
and I still love
I wouldn't even watch High Noon when I was a kid.
oh gosh, you can tell any story. Horror films and westerns, man, you can tell almost any story in those, especially
And
horror films.
but see, High Noon, how could I have not have liked that when I was younger? I was so stupid.
Because you fucking hated Gary Cooper, and
Uh,
But you
you loved
love
it. You loved it when people were like, "Are you a communist? Because you don't have a job here anymore. If you are."
I was getting ready to say, Joe, you were wrong. It was Life Force, but I didn't realize that came before Texas Chainsaw Part 2.
Yeah, I like scenes in Life Force, but no, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part Two is a better
Oh,
movie.
no, yeah, you're definitely wrong because I forgot he did the Mangler. Go fuck
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah. I like scenes in The Mangler, and some of it looks pretty good. But boy, that's a I don't know how much cocaine.
But
Anyway,
yeah, you might be right because,
yeah, it
like,
doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any
his
better.
the next movie he did was 2 years later, and it was Spontaneous Combustion.
Oh, I
Oh,
like that
no.
one as a kid, and then that one does not hold up as much. Although I like Brad Dourif in it. Yeah, that's what is it Mick Garris said when he was on our show when he was talking about Toby Hooper. Toby was as good as the material he was given.
Yeah.
All right, James.
isn't Chad?
No,
Wait,
Chad
No,
is
didn't.
me?
you.
Oh,
It
I'm
goes
sorry.
me,
I do.
Joe, you.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm going to talk about one. So if you know me, if you've listened to our show for a long time, you know that one of my favorite genres of all time is dystopian works. Literature, Brave New World, all that stuff. I love dystopias because they make me feel better about reality most days, not always. But so I love dystopian stuff, and because I love dystopian stuff, somebody recommended a film to me when I was younger, and the first time I watched this film, which also is another film that got remade later, I went, "What the crap is this?" And then before the remake came out, I revisited it because I'm like, I need to give it another shot. I actually several years before the remake came out, I revisited it. Once I was older, about when I was probably a freshman or sophomore in college. I'm like, oh, I get it a little bit more now. I was just too stupid to understand it when I was younger and thought, oh, it's an action film. And it's not an action film. And it's not a perfect movie. I don't
Are
want
you going
people
to talk
to.
about Damnation Alley? Will you just say Damnation
No,
Alley?
no. Has that been remade? Did they make one, Joe? Seriously.
I
Did
just
that
wanted
seriously?
you to say Damnation Alley.
Oh
I
no.
never would have
I
let
actually looked over
that
at my
pass
shelf
you.
though. You know what's literally if I do this, what's on my shelf? It's Damnation Alley
Is
right
it
over
Solar
there.
Babies? It's Solar Babies, isn't it?
No.
I still
No.
love that as a kid, but God bless it.
Would you please talk about Deathstalker and get this out of the way?
No. Oh my God, Deathstalker, Mystery Science Theater 3, Schenectady. Uh,
Schenectady.
uh,
And
this will be the one
then I got down
episode.
here and said it, and it's Schenectady.
Um, no, so this film, um, I think it resonates more now than ever in some ways, which is I know a cliche things to say, but gentlemen, the first time I saw Rollerball, I didn't appreciate it. Watching the original Rollerball when I was about
Yeah, it
18
works.
or 19 years old, it made much more sense. Still not a perfect film.
I still have never seen it.
You look
It was
weird without your
directed
glasses.
It was
I know.
directed by Norman Jewison. It's based on a short story that was published in Esquire back when Esquire published short fiction often. Um, and it was written by, oh my God, I'm blanking on the name of the author. It's terrible.
That's okay. Just keep going.
But Norman Jewison wanted to make it because he was influenced by another film, and I would argue this film is definitely better than Rollerball. He wanted to make what he saw as an answer to Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange. He wanted, and in his view, Rollerball was supposed to be completely anti-violent. because it was supposed to
But
be look at what happens in the thing, and why would we celebrate this gladiatorial type combat, and this is all terrible, and all of that stuff.
and by the way, in case our listeners don't know who Norman Jewison is, he's most known for these two amazing films, Best Friends and Bogus.
Yeah. So what Chad is leaving out is something called In the Heat of the Night, a soldier's story.
You gonna say Moonstruck?
Moonstruck.
Nope. Bogus and in, in Best Friends with Burt Reynolds.
Okay, Best Friends isn't bad.
It's a piece of shit.
Best Friends isn't bad. Have you seen Best Friends?
Yes, a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure it's still a piece of shit.
No,
Right
Best
up
Friends
there
isn't
with,
bad.
okay, fine. Only You. Does that make you feel better?
Well, I like things. I've
Um,
never seen Bogus.
so William
Yeah,
Harrison is the
it
one that
really is. It's bad. Sorry,
William
Jay.
Harrison is the one that wrote the short story it's based on. And here's
Yes,
the problem.
William Henry Harrison, president, writing short stories.
Yeah, he
Look at
wrote,
him find
wrote
the time.
William Henry Harrison, President of the United States, took some time off and wrote a short story called
He
Rollerball
didn't
Murder.
take no time off.
It was published in 1973 by Esquire magazine. Do you know the problem with Rollerball Murder?
No.
Doesn't actually contain the rules or how what rollerball is. Rollerball is a background thing that hides a murder. That's what the short story is about. The movie, though, is again, I understand it more when I'm older. Basically, it's about an aging athlete, which we seem to have quite a few of those
Yeah.
wandering around now, who doesn't want to retire. He still argues he's at the top of the game. The problem is, and again, this is a far distant dystopia. Don't take this for what reality is now. Wink. But corporations control the government, and they control what happens, and they want him to retire, and they set up a rollerball game that basically is to the death. And his ex-wife tries to get him to quit everything, but I was too young to understand it the first time I watched it when I thought I just wanted an action movie. And when they remade Rollerball, they tried to make it an action movie. And Joe, you've seen the remake. What did you think?
I've actually never seen all of it.
Oh, you haven't? Chad, have
No.
you seen the remake?
I don't
Oh
like
God,
that
I
lead guy.
I refuse to watch movies with it's not Chris Evans.
Chris, it's Chris, whatever. He's
He's so wooden.
yeah.
I
I like American Pie. The American Pie movie, the first American Pie movie was enjoyable when I saw it in the theater, and it was a refreshing thing. It's kind of people
Chris Klein. Chris Klein.
Chris Klein, yeah. He's in a horror film that was on Netflix I reviewed. It's one of those Fear Street ones, the last one. God, it was awful.
Oh, he was really bad, and
Well,
and
he
it's
wasn't him. The movie was just
well,
bad.
no, he's real, and it's a bad movie, but he's really bad in Street Fighter. The beginning of Chung, or the one with Chung Li, whichever one that one's called.
Well, if it doesn't have Jean-Claude Van Damme in it,
um
why?
so by the way, again, Norman Jewison viewed this as his version of A Clockwork Orange that would make people realize the importance of peace. And then in a 1975 article from the Buffalo News, let me cite my source, they were interviewing him about the film, and he realized he may have not made a film that would encourage people to be peace. And he told a story, and this is where I'll end my comment if you've never seen Rollerball, but I appreciate it much more when I was older. Here's the story Norman Jewison told the news when they asked him about the film. He talks about how he viewed it as a way to get people to understand the importance of peace and of being cooperative. But he realized that may not have been the effect the final product had, because when they were filming it, they got people off the street. They filmed part of it in Germany. They filmed part of it in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And basically they filmed some of it in old Olympic stadiums because they needed a big area that was made for sports. And here's his quote when he realized that what he thought he was making may not be the effect it had on audiences. When they cast extras as spectators and basically invited the public in to watch the spectacle of them filming the things, he said, quote, the people got so worked up that when the side they were rooting for lost, which was, by the way, the villains in the film, they leapt the barricade and attacked Jimmy, James Caan, who plays the main actor, and actually injured his arm. Because in the fake sport, in the fake movie they were watching being filmed, The audience got too excited about the fake scripted sport that when the bad guys lost, their response was to jump the filming barricade and actually attack the actor. And Norman Jewison was like, that's when I realized the film may not have the impact that I wanted it to have. It's a great story, and I appreciate Rollerball more now. And again, don't rush out if you've never seen it. But if you're looking for a unique dystopian film that's set in the distant year of 2018, you probably could check out Rollerball and enjoy it. But if you're looking for an action film, that's probably not it for you. There you go.
All right.
All right, so Invasion of the Body Snatchers didn't snatch you. Didn't surprise you. Sorry. Maybe this one will.
See Snatch.
I really didn't like Animal House.
But Chad, once again, it's a short-lived sitcom told us Animal House, house, house. Nobody ever went to class. Anybody? Delta House, the short-lived sitcom?
Yeah, you've
Anybody?
talked about it on the show before.
Anybody?
When I was a
Listen, the
kid,
fact that y'all never watched it is why it's not on the air now. We could be on season 72.
oh, and thank God we're not. And yet Jack Drexel's class never gets to revisit.
I'm so glad that you remember shows like Brimstone and Drexel's Class, because if not, it would just be me going, doesn't anybody know? I'm pretty much the equivalent of the guy with the Messiah complex, except for it's for short-lived shows that only I enjoyed.
I wish there needs to be a push to get Brimstone on DVD because it's a travesty. Because I want to watch that show again so bad.
I'm gonna have to let me
Buy that one at the con.
Yep, yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna have to buy the unofficial release that barely meets the legal requirements because I can't buy an official release, so they get away with it.
So yeah, I did not care for Animal House when I was a kid. I just never got. I didn't even get. That's another one. I didn't get through it because I didn't. I thought it was boring. I didn't think it was funny. I didn't like anybody in the movie. Again, high school changed me because I saw Animal House and I'm like, why didn't I like
It was
this
called
one?
puberty, Chad.
Yeah.
That's actually probably accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. You may be right. I don't know. But yeah, I just didn't care for it. There's no explanation. That's all I can say about it is I just could not sit through it. I was like, this is boring. Why am I seeing this old man's ass on the TV? I just didn't care for it. So yeah, that's my quick summary of the third movie is I just because it's a shock. That's the biggest shocker for me is Animal House. I don't know why I hated it because it had everybody I love in it now. Oh my God, help me, guys! Flounder.
John Belushi?
Well, no, yeah, John Belushi, but Flounder.
Stephen First.
Donald
Stephen
Sutherland?
First.
Stephen
Stephen
First. I
First.
love Stephen First.
Man, Babylon 5 he's so good in Babylon 5 as a series.
I still say Dream Team is underrated.
Dream Team is underrated.
Yeah.
I will agree with that.
I love Dream Team. But yeah, I could not get into Animal House. That's it.
I'm having a hard time with my third one because I was the one that came up with this topic, but the first two came out really easy, right?
Surprise, shocker, the other one's the one right behind your back, Joe.
What other ones right behind my back?
The other movie that I didn't care for, Caddyshack.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You didn't like Caddyshack?
Not as a kid. I like Caddyshack too.
Okay. I'm trying to digest that and do my part. Okay. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So it's really hard because there's two, and Westerns for me, could be like an amalgamation of so many different ones, right? That everyone loved. And it wasn't, so I could say The Searchers, but when I discovered The Searchers in college, I was like, well, this is fucking brilliant. Or I could say I did not understand. I was too young when I watched A Space Odyssey. I know I'm rambling, but for my last one. But here's the one where I didn't get it at first when I watched it as a kid, and then later on go, oh, this movie's star-studded. Every dialogue in it is amazing. What in the hell was wrong with me? And this is going to come out of left field for probably the two of you. Tombstone, the first time I watched it, I didn't care for it.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know.
I
I
don't
love
want to
to.
hear it. You just say Caddyshack and Animal House.
Dude, I was young. I
I
didn't
was
get it.
young when I saw Tombstone. Tombstone came out in like 92,
Yeah,
93.
I saw it when it first came out and I loved it.
Well, good for you.
It
It's
was
not that I hated it, but it's one of those movies that I did. And one of,
that and Unforgiven are the two movies that kind of made me start
Unforgiven
look.
is one that I appreciated but didn't understand as much.
Uh,
It didn't have the I don't want to say gravitas because it literally sounds like I'm being, but it didn't have the gravitas till I got older, and it's like, oh God, this
no,
movie's so good and all about redemption.
Unforgiven and Tombstone is what made me start looking into westerns and
So,
appreciating them.
so Tombstone is one of those movies that gets better with age, right? Because everybody in that movie, for the most part, went on to do something. I mean, even Billy Bob Thornton gets smacked around in it.
And oh my God, the guy from Avatar and
Yeah, Stephen.
don't breathe.
I said Stephen, whatever his name. He's in
Lang,
Sisu
Lang,
too. Stephen Lang.
Lang,
He's
Lang,
Sisu too. He's in Sisu too. So
Lang went the
that
trolley.
movie has more great character actors in it than I'm trying to think what's, and
Um,
I'm not telling you, I didn't hate it. I just didn't get it.
Powers
Everybody in
Booth,
my high school, and I think what?
Thomas Hayden Church. I mean,
Yeah.
well,
But I think the reason why I did not, in fact, I watched Wyatt Earp in the theater at the same time and liked Wyatt Earp better. And I know now that I was an idiot. And I think what it is, although I do stand by, I will stand by that Cole plays Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp.
Val Kilmer. Oh, you talking about Dennis Quaid?
Dennis Quaid. I do think Dennis Quaid's Doc Holliday is pretty good.
Oh no,
The
that's the
movie's
only.
not the movie's not great, but and Val Kilmer gave that born to play right Doc Holliday.
Yeah,
But Dennis Quaid's really good as Doc
no,
Holliday.
he
And
saves that movie. He's the only thing that's really good about that film. And that's still every now and then when he, him in the horse trial, it wakes up. You all suck, my rebel.
yeah, no, it's funny. He's really good in that. So that's a forgotten performance in a movie that's, but I feel like I think I know what it is. And you all are exercising your demons. The one thing that all three of us had in common, other than our hatred of Chad, and no one hates Chad more than Chad,
That's true.
is that we all hated high school.
Yeah.
And do you know what played once it got out on video cassette, what everybody in southeastern Kentucky was watching all the time?
Schindler's List, which is really weird.
Tombstone.
Oh, I got that way wrong. I was
I mean,
way
it's
off.
funny.
I was way off with my guess.
Actually, it was the red shoes. Made no sense. Made no sense. Like the
The
movie,
bicycle. I'm sorry, the
The
bicycle
Bicycle
thief. I was,
Thief.
I
I
was
had
way
to take
off.
the headphones out. I'm laughing so hard it's hurting inside my ears.
Bicycle Thief.
Oh,
Uh, 7.5, 9.5, 8,
Oh,
man,
6, 7?
8.5.
James, fuck
Yeah,
you.
they just got into this whole
The answer
French
is
New Wave
42,
thing
Chad.
in the hollers.
Oh,
By the way, could we write an art house film called French New Wave Hollers? I
French New Wave.
think.
I
I
think that's a really
think.
good skit of like the little Bubby Child. If
Yeah,
anybody's listening to
yeah.
this and knows Little Bubby Child, and Little Bubby Child does a whole critique on like I don't know Godot or something. I don't know.
But he has to be smoking like a one of the or cigarette holders that them
Yeah,
like but he's got to still have the accent, right? So it has to,
right.
oh the I can't do the accent even though I come from Eastern Kentucky. But something about the futility of life.
Oh, that futility life.
so
No, I could
I,
do it, but hold
I
on.
just no. All right.
Well, no, I just want to say this. I feel that I inside hated high school so much. And I've come to terms where I grew up with a little bit better now. There's certain aspects of it I do appreciate. But I hated high school so much. I wanted out of that whole place so bad that it's one of those movies that represents all that to me. And it was so popular, and all these redneck jocks watched it every weekend. And I'm assuming that and was it Varsity Blues masturbating to them. In my head, I have no idea what they were doing, but in my head, that's what was happening. why I wanted to mention them masturbating is a whole set of things.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was gonna
Whereas
give
I
you a
was
vibe.
watching the red shoes.
Um, no, and I've seen the thing with and I went in Tombstone wanting to see Kurt Russell because I have always been a
But
huge
wanted
Kurt
to
Russell fan.
masturbate to him, and he had that mustache.
I always loved Kurt Russell, and I wanted to see that movie so bad. And then I go and see it, and Kurt Russell, even though he's really good in the film,
He's not.
every everybody else is amazing.
He's the least interesting character in the movie.
Well, Bill Paxton.
Well, I mean, Tom Cruise doesn't do much for it.
So yeah, it's just yeah.
What?
Tom Cruise.
In Tombstone?
I'm pretty. That's I honestly.
No,
True story.
he has a very small role.
Aha! I'm not crazy.
Yeah, he's just
he gets shot, right? He gets
he's
shot in the background.
He's in the movie for half a second. Yeah, he was on
I don't
set.
think I knew that.
He was on set one day, and they said, "Why don't you be in the film?"
That's awesome.
And they
He's
gave
in
him
so much makeup you can't see him.
Yeah.
So Tombstone, I think, was me throwing my fist up like an idiot against people that I just, for some odd reason, I was just
No,
young
and
and stupid.
I completely get that because that's why I hate Clueless.
Although Clueless is a very well-made movie.
Maybe, but
It is. It is one of those.
it
It's
literally
not my cup of
represented
tea, but it's a good movie.
it represented a huge majority of the people that gave me so much shit in high school. So I was like, I don't want to see it.
Well, since we're using this event session, I understand what you're saying, Joe, because and you'll know exactly. Well, I assume y'all both will know what I'm talking about. You know what used to drive me nuts, and I appreciate. Before I get tons of
Wonderwall.
blowback.
Wonderwall playing in your lunchroom.
Yeah, no, that did, and I still
Oh God,
actually,
I hate that
I have not let that go. Actually, Joe,
I like
I'm talking about
Wonderwall.
something that I've
Not
let
Champagne Supernova, but it's okay.
go. I went when Kurt Cobain committed suicide. Spoiler alert if anybody wasn't aware that Kurt Cobain committed suicide. But you remember the shirt they made that was just Kurt Cobain and it had the dates like birth, death, and it was just that one stock image of him.
I kind of.
I bet at least 1 out of every 4 people in my high school owned that shirt. And and it got to the point where I actually sitting there going, I don't care how talented he was. Why? Why? And what I realized later on is a lot of people that wore that shirt didn't actually know. Like they knew 1 or 2 songs, right? They knew what got MTV rotation. And so it took me a while before I was like, oh, okay, I can actually listen to Nirvana now, and I appreciate it. And that's terrible to say because, again, I shouldn't let as the youth like to say, well, some youth, I shouldn't let other people yuck my yum. I shouldn't let other people dictate what I enjoy and what I don't.
That was last year's.
Which is why I still maintain that Super Troopers is better than I don't know, Bad News Bears of Cops, whatever that cop movie y'all like is.
Oh shit, who's the man?
Yeah, no, that one is actually good. I'll give you that one. That's Ed Glover.
All right, James, what's your pick? Now that I've got,
I'm going to go with one that actually, because I was sitting there and I actually struggle with this topic a lot because I was like, oh man, usually I'm so brilliant my first time that I'm never wrong, but I wish I had the ego to back that up. But this is actually one that it was okay the first time I saw it, but now I watch it, I'm like, oh God, I missed all the nuance. I missed all the little things and all the mistaken identity parts that are in it. Because I watched it the first time when I was about 9 years old with my dad, and I wanted because my dad and my mom tried to sell me on, oh, it's a spy film. You like spy, you like that James Bond. Well, you'll love this. Do not promise a child James Bond and then show them North by Northwest. And by the way, before I get hate, I love North by Northwest now.
But it's not a movie for a kid.
No. Like even the beginning of it when he just raises his hand at the wrong time, right? The start, so that was lost on me because I didn't get it. I didn't understand. Probably because I'd never been to a restaurant where I had to ask for a bill. McDonald's, you pay at the counter.
Straight up, I don't disagree. I can remember the first time I was 17 years old before I was in a restaurant that I can remember in my head where you either wasn't a counter or there may have been 1 or 2 buffets, but that was it.
Yeah, no, I mean,
you paid up front.
I'm being honest. I mean, I was not culturally aware enough the first time I saw that film. And of course we watched it because my dad watched it. So we were watching, and that's the thing I tell my kids that my kids have no earthly idea about is they don't understand that they get to pick what we watch a lot more than I ever did.
Oh,
And part of that, going back to what Chad said, was we had ATV and it got 3 channels. So really there wasn't too many options.
Hmm.
Whereas my kids have 15 streaming services
and nothing on.
and nothing on. Um,
Yeah, North by
so,
Northwest, I can see that, James, because that's a really tough movie.
It
Because
really is.
it is kind of slow and spot. It's brilliant because of Hitchcock and Cary Grant, and it has,
yeah.
oh my God, it has so many quotable lines in it.
Oh no, and that's what I mean. Now I look back and be like, yeah, my parents just showed that to me at the wrong time in
The
my
wrong
life,
age.
and I did not have the cultural experiences or even the restaurant experience because I wasn't being sarcastic. And Joe, you're absolutely right. Um, to
I
understand what set that film up.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things that I always tell people.
I mean, even the scene, I still love this scene, but as a kid, when Cary Grant's drunk and kind of drugged and he's driving,
Mm,
that scene takes forever.
It does, and it's all screen projection, which was the
Hmm.
thing at the time. So now it looks so dated.
yeah,
It does, and it's just a tough movie for a kid. I can see that. I can. Animal
yeah,
House, Caddyshack, but North by Northwest.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and it's funny because my father never liked Psycho. He loved movies like North by Northwest. Like Psycho wasn't my dad's jam because he thought it was, whatever. He was like, "Ah, he kills people, whatever." He thought that was much more intriguing. He was okay. He liked Vertigo. I'm trying to think of Hitchcock films. He liked Vertigo because I had Jimmy Stewart. I don't know if my dad knew who directed movies. He knew the actors he
Now
liked.
he may have known Hitchcock because Hitchcock had a TV show.
Yeah, and that's it. And you're absolutely right because my dad did love Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Yeah.
Do, do,
As
do,
did
do, do,
I.
do,
Yeah.
do. And so anyway, I say all that to say, but it just yeah, I again I don't want people to send me hate mail going, "What do you mean you don't like?" I love that movie now, but we were talking about movies that grew on us over time. Definitely North by Northwest. When I was
James,
looking
that
at the
one's up.
list, I was
That
like,
one,
"Yep,
I forgot about that one. That's up there with me too, because I didn't care for it when I was younger either.
yeah,
I didn't see it till I was older. I don't
Yeah, I
think.
don't.
yeah."
It's kind of funny. The two movies my parents love the most, I still can't watch, which is my dad's Green Berets and my mom's The River of No Return with Marilyn Monroe and Dean Martin.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Dirty Dancing.
No, mom's favorite movie of all time is the River of No Return.
Or
Hmm.
the one that she'll talk to you about.
But I still hate Dirty Dancing. So
All right. Any honorable mentions?
I mean,
sorry,
there's a
It's Robert Mitchum, not Dean Martin.
Well, you'd lost me on that one. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know that one, and I thought I
Yeah.
was wrong.
there's a couple that came to mind, but they're not.
It's the same with me. Like one's 2001, but I don't know that I hate it as much as I didn't understand it,
Yeah,
and didn't have anybody to talk to about it.
yeah. I mean, well, and I think it's the same thing. There's a great story, and it's true. And luckily, I never had this experience because I loved it even when I was young. But Jimmy Stewart used to tell the story about when they were doing Harvey as a Broadway show,
Harvey.
And I didn't
and
watch
the
Harvey till I was a grown man.
and the amount of people that would come because the parents to get their kids to behave at the thing would be, oh, it's this show about a giant rabbit. And he tells the story about they were doing a show once, and finally a kid had it and literally just screamed, "Where is the rabbit? I was promised a rabbit."
I
And
don't blame the kid.
no, and that's it. Like, but
What's it called? A puku? Piku? What is
puka,
it?
a puka,
Puka. Puka.
puka, which puka in actual folklore is very very mischievous and sometimes dangerous spirit. Um,
I just
but
thought it was
anyway,
awesome.
so I didn't have that response, but that's I use that as an example because there's so many movies that now I look back and I'll do one quick honorable mention because it is one of my favorite Clint Eastwood movies now. But the first time I watched it, I was like, what the heck is this? It's High Plains Drifter. I love High Plains Drifter,
Mm-hmm.
but watching it edited for television
It's not the
and
same.
when I was about 6 years old, and my dad, it was Clint Eastwood. We watched so many, and Clint Eastwood has some phenomenal movies. I am not besmirching Clint Eastwood, but he also has some lemons.
Hmm.
And
Yep.
if it started Clint Eastwood or John Wayne, we watch it. You want to know how many times I've seen The
If you
Conqueror?
if you besmirch anyway but loose, I'll drive over to your house and smack you silly.
Those
I
are. I
prefer.
tried watching one of those a while back, and that's
I have not rewatched it
it.
since
That
I
one
was
was tough. I
years.
didn't finish it. I
By
watched
the
just a few minutes of it. It. Yeah.
Just remember, Joe hates everything.
But Chad, hold on. Let me make this a deeper cut. Chad, I prefer the far superior sequel. Every wait, there's every which way but loose, and any which way you
You
can.
can, yeah.
Any which way you can was obviously the superior film.
With the
I
great
think
late
I think
character actor Jeffrey Lewis.
I kind of agree with you on that.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen them in.
Those are
It's
movies
probably been
those are movies that were
25, 30
huge
years.
hits that no
Mhm.
one talks about anymore.
Mm-mm.
No.
Left turn,
Which
Clyde.
which means, Joe, it's time that we remake them.
Sorry, right
Yeah.
turn, Clyde. Right turn, Clyde. Psh.
I do have one more honorable mention, and it was I was talking to a friend about this, which is funny because I don't have any friends. But
Mm-mm.
Nightmare Before Christmas,
Yeah, mm.
not something that I cared for the first. I thought it was interesting, but did not have an attachment to it,
Same.
and I
Yeah, I did. I
still
liked it. I liked
liked
it.
scenes in it. But I don't have a deep love for it like some people do. But I do appreciate it so much more now, older than I did when I first saw it. I was like, but Nightmare
Yep.
Before Christmas, I think, is probably another one of my last good examples of. Yeah, I don't quite get what it is, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I said that there's a lot of those that come to mind, but yeah, yeah. No, it's most of the time. I mean, and again, I'm going to go that cliche I've already used, but the older I get, the more I realize everything's not for me, and I'm
no,
not
it's
going to yuck
not. And
somebody's yum.
yeah,
And so, if you like the Police Academy films, and that's what stops you from quoting a friend of ours, climbing that bell tower,
Yeah.
then please God watch those movies.
Yeah.
Just
agreed.
don't make me watch them.
When you're younger, you're more passionate about, and you just want to argue, and you have your this tunnel vision, and you get older, you're just more accepting, and to me, it's a problem I had when I was younger too that I hope I've gotten better with. I don't completely understand, but I'm getting a.
Did you say Red Rum, Chad? I
I'm
couldn't hear
just
you.
thinking of all the people to throw these rocks.
I don't know
Um,
what you're talking about. Oh, Joe, tell me about Willow.
It still didn't work for me. 30 years on, it still don't work for me. But I haven't watched it in a long time. I try to get my kid to watch it, and he will not sit down and watch it.
Mm.
Because I was hoping, I was like, oh, I'll watch it. Because there's a couple of things, like I like Goonies a little bit more now because he laughs about it. And I was like, oh, all right, yeah, it's made for him. It's not made for me. So I'm enjoying
yeah.
it while he's enjoying it.
Well, that's the entire thing, and I've used this example before on our show, but Monster Trucks isn't a great
I still
film,
need to watch that movie.
but I enjoyed it at the fact that that was the first film, and I had taken Silas to the theater several times, my son. But it's the first film that he saw that trailer, and he was probably 4 or 5 years old, and it was the first minute he grabbed my arm while the trailer was playing, and goes, "Dad, I've got to see that movie." And I looked today and I'm like, opening night, it's first movie. Like he loves movies. He loves watching movies with me at theaters and stuff. We're gonna go see because I'm a good father. I'm taking him to see the new Sisu movie. Um,
I didn't
but
get invited. I like Caesar.
yeah,
I
you want to
want to see
go?
it too.
Probably go Sunday
No, you
because
got to help me with my resume Sunday.
the women. What if it takes me more than 6 hours to write a resume? You need to find somebody better. Now, resume ends in an A, right?
Yes.
Anyway,
I need you to work on my resume.
it's got a squiggly on top though because it's one of them fancy A's.
Which you can't find on your damn keyboard. So how do you type that?
I don't
Sons
know.
of bitches.
You know how I do it, Chad? This is a true story. Just because I could learn the key code thing, but I find it online, copy and paste it, and to whatever I'm putting it in. Because I
And those
refuse to learn
vowels
the
with
code.
the weird two dots on the top. Who needs that? Why does a vowel need eyes?
That's called an umlaut, Chad, and you know how I know that?
Ooh, I like mine with sausage and spinach and cheese.
You know why I know umlaut? Because I want to do an entire thing where there's a barbarian named Umlaut. I just think it would be hilarious.
That's a lot
Umlaut the
smarter and
barbarian.
funnier than me sitting here going umlaut, doolot, boolot, umlaut, doolot.
I don't know. Once again, Joe, we don't know.
Umlaut.
You may find an audience and it just won't be the same audience that enjoys Umlaut the Barbarian. But maybe if we look at one of them charts that are two circles and they overlap, I forget what those are called right now, even though I use them all the time. But that happy middle ground, the people that enjoy both, those are probably Bonehead listeners.
Well, and as I was talking to someone who's a friend of all three of ours the other day, is like, yeah, you say you can't sing, but you all sure do sing a lot.
Oh no, that's not. I mean, I'm not.
I ain't got a
we
bunch of coconuts.
Things
Umlaut,
things
lot,
come out of our
lot.
mouth, but it is not scientifically categorized as singing what I do. I have been told that I can't carry a note and that I'm tone deaf. As a matter of fact,
No, that's why I don't give you my letters because they just fucking leave.
my family.
Where was the last
I
word
was-
you
I
said?
don't know.
I was trying to remember a
Synecdoche.
song, and we'll wrap this up. But I was trying to remember a song, and Dana was like, "You said the thing where Google will listen and tell you the song if you just hum it."
Yeah.
And Google literally went, "I don't know what that is. I can't find it."
So
And then
the
finally-
artificial intelligence tapped out.
It did. It literally was like, I can't identify. And then finally, it came on the radio. It came on the radio. The song I was trying to remember, and I was like, "This one. This is what I was trying to find." And my wife and daughter both said, "You hit none of the notes in that song, and your beat was too fast. Nobody could identify and guess this was it coming from you." And I'm like, once again, no training, never studied.
Never studied.
And it showed.
All right, guys. I think this has been Bonehead Weekly.
You almost
I almost
said
said
it.
it,
You
but
were
I didn't.
Regular size
Stopped
edition.
it.
Regular.
This is the regular. What's the regular size? 3 inches?
No. As a matter of fact, we've talked about this. You need to see a medical professional.
This has been Bonehead.
Your ear shouldn't be that big.
Ah.